Tell him! You tell him I'm coming! Tell him I'm fucking coming!
Straight out the Brooklyn basement. It's the GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast.
Yes! Welcome back. GodMode Podcast, session number 149. We in there. Tonight is a double feature. I'm going to start out doing what I started doing on the GodMode show. Beats. I have not made a beat in a long time on this program. Aside from the little ones you hear me do here and there. So I have decided that shit's going to change right now. Even whooped out my favorite kit for this. So we are going to do a beat today. And maybe I will have a surprise guest later. But if not, we still going to make a beat. But right now, if you know me, let me get my peripherals straight. I like this new layout. Only thing is, y'all can't see me hit my machine anymore. Because you can't see my machine. I am planning to change that in the future, but for now, bear with me. But you can see everything I'm doing, as usual. I'll try to explain it the best I can in my own stupid way. Come in to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? We still in podcast mode. We still in smoke mode. We still with the unofficial sponsor, White Claw. You know what I mean? So let me share this out to the networks. And we'll see what we can cook here today. You know what I mean? Let's see. I'm going to share this out. Hope everybody's having a good night. Happy Saturday and all that fun shit. You know what I'm saying? Today I'm going to share in all the music groups. Because my music group's been mad at me lately. Because I've been doing nothing but talking. But you know what? You're going to hear a lot more talking. Because I'm going to have a lot more guests on, I'm hoping. And so on and so forth. What are we doing? I want to share more. That's it. Yes. My fault. Let me just type in some shit and we'll get it going here. Alright. Never mind that bullshit. I guess I'm not allowed to share to that many groups anymore. How sad for me. They've revoked my sharing rights. So today we are rocking a multi-layered sample. I've decided to do something. I'm gonna start desecrating trap samples and putting boom bap shit to them. I don't know exactly how well this is gonna work, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? So I've been trolling all my sample digging sites. I have dug up some shit at the 140 tempo range. So we're gonna go ahead and do some shit like that today. As usual, I am rocking an Isotope Ozone 7 on my master to keep everything crispy, with a modified vintage hip-hop patch. And the drums I'm using today are my favorites so far. It's the Dark DSC kit and Hardland Flow. I just like the snap of it. I do have the open hi-hats set in ADSR. To do that, go to sound, hit that shit, and go to pitch and envelope right here. And we're going to set it to ADSR from One Shot. Some people like to do it that way. Some people like to do it in ADH, which is just like you hit it and then it kind of does, a little bit of the sample and it stops. I don't. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to turn to talk to the mic, because if I turn like this, I don't know how this shit's going to work. But having said that, my sample again is multi-layered, so I've chopped up a bunch of shit and kind of made it work together. So just to give you an idea, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different samples. And the way I set my samples up, and just if anyone is curious, I guess, or if you want to set your samples up the same way, once you load the sample in, do the same thing. Put it into ADSR mode. Because then you can hit the sample and let go, and it will, it'll let go after you let go. That's sometimes that's important, if you're trying to do breaks, stuff like that. So, yes, this is the way I have my shit set up. And right now, we're going to do a beat. Like I said, there may be a guest in the lab later on, but right now, we cooking. Come see me. Let's get it going. Again, tempo is 140. I will try to explain shit, but the positioning of this mic now, it's all center-like. So, if y'all can hear me like this, which I doubt. Alright, so we're going to play this shit and essentially put a boom bap to it real quick, just so that I can start fucking with some of the layers that are in this sample. And, or the different samples that layer with this sample. Talk to me, ask questions. Don't ask questions. Talk shit. Don't talk shit. You know what to do. Let's get it. Time to desecrate. That's why I could put that boom bap to this shit. Kind of like how that shit is. So I already have a pattern set up because I cheated. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, hit your pattern button on the machine, hit any one of them squares, it'll come up with a 2-bar pattern. So you just thumb it out to as many bars as you want. I got my shit set to 8. Go to navigate, stretch that bitch out. Yeah, no. So we're gonna do like a kick and a snare first, just to get shit rolling. I mean, I could play all this shit, but like, You know, I'm not an MPC guru. Hopefully when my guest comes in here, he'll destroy this shit. Got another machine set up for him right there. So let's get it. Record, man. Let's get a little take going, right? Yeah, yeah. Quantize. Take that and keep it, but I'm gonna do another pattern because I might want to play something else. Go to pattern, hit the pattern button, select a new one, thumb that shit out to 8 or whatever your prospective bar size may be, and let's go again. I like how that went in the beginning, but we're going to switch up on that a little bit. Not yet. Here we go. Best of both worlds. shit up before I get my hi-hats in. Mind you, this sample goes wildly different. I'm just formulating a boom bap to this one. Those gotta get changed up right there. Take this one out. Like that, right? Just to start with. So we'll take this pattern, go into pattern mode, hit duplicate on the machine screen, left top screen, blah. Right? Duplicate every pattern after you make it so that you can modify it and still have the original one. Just good practice. Alright. Let's add to it. Something like that, then we'll put the shit on repeat and do a clack, 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 clack. Even maybe I could put the shit in no repeat right now. Two triplets. Nope. Alright. Then we gotta do it al manjuel. Let's take a pass and do that. Just add that into this new pattern we got happening here. Yeah. there. That's on your own style already. Start placing shit. Right there. So shift that one down and give it a full Monty right there. Take the last kick out. Dumb shit. It never hurts because you have the undo button, you have the delete button. So there's always good use for that. we're going to keep that, but I want another one. So again, what we'll do in this case, since I already have the boom bap laid out, we'll go to pattern. We're going to duplicate this pattern, but then we're just going to delete everything. Hindsight, you could put it into no repeat and just do this, but end it right there. What I'm going to do with these another one, but this one, I'll duplicate it just for consistency's sake, right? Just this. We'll do one of these numbers. Later on, we'll mix and match when we start arranging, but we ain't there yet. So now, let's go through all these other samples that I have lined up here and see how they work with this. This is where the fun part comes in. Oh, by the way, don't be like me. Save your project often. Shift save, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the undo button. Put them right back in. Now, this may get interesting. Now you'll see the depth of the actual arrangement that we're going to be pulling off later on. If I can switch it on time. I've already layered these and cut these shits up. So I did cheat. Well, fuck it. That's working nicely with it. All right. So now the true matter is again, here I've already laid out the bass, the rise, all that good shit, you know, the 808s. So it's just a matter of getting a nice boom bap. And then we can start arranging this bitch. Just the 808s, which I never made. So again, we'll just duplicate this pattern. We don't care. And then we'll drop the bar down to the 808s, right? So we got this now. get start. Let's start arranging this bad bitch up. And they're in groups of 8, but 8 at 140 feels like a 4. All right. So what I like to do, again, your practice is your own. I'll take the one bar that's playing, which is scene 2 right up here, and I will duplicate it to essentially the length of my track, including intro. So let's do that. Put it right into navigation mode by hitting shift navigation on the machine so you can zoom out accordingly. Most of the time, so we got the verse, first, then first hook. So we need 4 of these for the first verse. Right. So we got those. Now let's get 2 more for the hook. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. You're kind of just laying it out so you can see, where it's going to be at. That's the intro, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the first 1, 2 for the hook. Now I need 4 more of these bitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then 1, 2 for another hook and let it loop around. So now essentially we have what is going to be the Skeletor of the entire track right here. Now if you have pre-prep patterns, which I did, you can start plugging them in and start to arrange out kind of the general idea of what you see the track to be. Now again, shift save, so now you've done all this. How do I want this to come in? An idea, right? So approximately this is what we're going to start with. Now we're going to lead into something else, but that's approximately how I want it to go. You know I gotta drop my shit. We're gonna vary the drums later on, but again, we're just kind of building the skeleton of what this thing is gonna sound like. Switch some stuff up around a little bit. See how that pans out for us. You know what? That one we'll use for the hook. That we'll use for the hook. That's what we'll use for the hook. Okay. That's what we'll use for that. Patterns and that son of a bitch. There it is. So we'll use 2 for that. Once you're done kind of layering out where it's supposed to be, start swapping drums around. 6 or whatever the case may be.
God mode.
I think I want my God mode a little closer to the start. Let's go again. And again and again and again. That's gonna happen. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be right there. Triple stacker right here. Yeah, we're doing triple stacker right here. With the rise. Swap it back to that right there. I wonder. I'm gonna start doing these beat shows a little more often. Boom, boom. Hey. forgetting somewhere. Don't forget, we got more drums to also mess with. Just that one little boom bap is a bit of a kind of a placeholder. Still gonna make breaks, increase the speed of the hi-hats, all that good shit. Definitely don't come in like that though. So far, that's making good sense. Here's where I might increase the speed of the hi-hats. Alright, and even then I can bring in just some hi-hats at the beginning, like right before it kicks. right there. that son of a bitch. Beat shows are back on the GodMode podcast with Taco Cat.
God mode.
From the verse, if I can manage that. Save, baby. Always shift save. Now, let me start putting in some breaks. And this is where that ADSR on the samples comes in handy, because you can just cut it short and the sample will cut short, as opposed to one-shotting it and not having that choice. 6 is what I have highlighted. Copy everything in scene 6 and then start cutting it back. So duplicate that son of a bitch. Duplicate the drums. Alright. And now we can start chopping it, because it won't interfere with what we already laid out. See how that works. Okay, I gotta cut the sample back some more. Alright. So I want to get that crisp break. So take the last hi-hat off. Cut it back a bit further. And my mic is also muted. One, two, one, boom. Hey. I see myself across 3 networks. I didn't even get to hear that. We'll wait till it comes around again. Switch these around. Hey. Now let's see how that little situation went down right here. I'll fuck with that. Alright. So here now, right before we go into the hook, I want to make a hard cut. So again, duplicate the whole pattern. back a little something. shall return. Y'all vibe to this. I told you, man. This is how we do it, and it's gonna be lovely. So check it out. Like I said, this show is usually full of surprises, and I never know who the fuck's gonna walk in here. So in the middle of a B show, you know what I'm saying, we got a good friend of mine back in the building. So this track right here, you're gonna catch it on SoundCloud tonight. Enjoy that shit. Fucking steal it, rap to it, whatever the fuck you want to do. And of course, now this shit right here is gonna get interesting. Introducing someone who needs no introduction on this fucking program, my brother from another mother, Brooklyn Bob.
What's up?
Yeah, he's back.
I gotta say, tonight I was amazed because when Boris called me, I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm like, buy beer. And it's the first time he actually walked to the store and bought his fucking Heineken.
I had to drag him in here.
Like, started him. Look at that. This show is brought to you by Heineken.
And of course, by White Claw.
White Claw, yeah.
So now this whole shit's going.
White Claw is racist.
Listen, whatever it is,
racist. They're gonna stop it soon. They're gonna have to call it. What are they gonna call it? Versatile Claw.
Versatile Claw.
Yeah, right.
Yo, so
diverse. What do they call it?
Diverse Claw.
Yeah.
So check it out. Last episode, me and Breeze got into like a heated debate about shit. It included 2 bottles of vodka, so I want to do it a little sober minded today. We got on the subject of, you know, those drones that you fly around, the
Yeah.
Well, I got into the point that eventually they're gonna be flying around people. And
the drones, they already have something like that.
Exactly. And I showed him videos, and we're already gonna get into, you know, we're getting into this next phase of transportation, and he was freaking out about it because, you know, I'm saying, yo, what do you think's going to happen in the next 20 years? The FAA is going to have a nightmare. And he's like, why? Well, you know, I says, yo, because we're going to have low altitude. We're going to have people flying over light poles and shit. Like, that's mad low altitude flying. The FAA don't regulate that shit right now. So, like, where are we going from here with this, man?
This is what I'm going to say. This is not from my knowledge. I have opinions, but this is from what I saw, like, other scientists speak about.
This whole show's opinions. We're all.
I'm saying, no, but like, I actually heard this from scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, people like that, who are pretty smart. Michio Kaku. They said, number one, we're not going to see flying cars for a long time for one reason. You see one little flying car, that's one thing. Do you ever see a helicopter that's like 5,000 feet in the air? How loud are they? Loud. So, number one, you're not going to see 100 of these things going down the Bell Parkway or thousands of them because it's going to be too loud, number one, which is true.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Number two, cars can go underground. They go above ground. You could build 2 highways, 10-lane highways. You got bridges. And also, they're making cars right now, self-driving. You see the car that can park itself now without you being in it?
There's a couple of them. Yeah.
That's the next, I think, 50, 60 years.
Right.
Will there be flying cars? Honestly, I think somewhere in the human race. I don't know exactly when.
What's your timeline on it?
Honestly, I'll be honest. I think we're going to have flying cars because everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants it. We're the kind of people that... look like Star Trek when they're walking around with those like little cell phone type things.
Well, here's the thing,
they made one. We talked
Star
about
Trek, it. With Star Trek, they've made everything on Star Trek except 2 things.
What, the laser gun? They made it already, right? Yeah.
2 things.
Teleportation.
They haven't made teleportation,
which they say they did, but it's conspiracy.
Nah. It's
I'm saying no. Actually, I'm sorry. They did with proton. They did it with like a proton or something like that.
Right.
They made it come back, but they can't do it with a human being. Right. You're right.
And number 2, the warp drive.
The warp drive, they didn't make it though, but it's possible maybe.
Well, it's possible. It's just we do not have the energy to do it.
Yes, and also know what it is too. Is there really a point to make warp drive? Because
scoot that mic a little back from you, up, just so I can see you better. That's it.
Is it really worth doing a warp drive thing? Because even if you go to speed of light, and you have to go like 10 light years away, that would take 200 years. So it's like, people say we need a warp drive to go far in space. No, we got to find a way to make human beings live for 500 years.
In space.
Just in space.
Yes.
Have babies.
Yes.
We can't, though.
Yes, we could.
No, I'm saying we can, but just to make something like that, because gravity...
It'll take the entire human race to make something like that, and then there's problem number 1.
Yeah.
We're too divided down here.
And I have another idea, too, which I like. The future.
It's like an arc we're talking about.
And this is Neil deGrasse said, and I agree with him. Everyone keeps on talking about going to Mars.
Yeah.
Teleforming Mars. We can all move there. So the amount of money and resources it's going to take to do that. Here's a good point. Why don't we just fucking terraform this planet again and fix it? Why go all the way over?
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, like fix this planet and keep it the way it is. And they said, what do you think? Asteroids don't hit Mars and not going to hit Earth? They're going to hit everything when they come into our solar system eventually. Sure. If we have some kind of thing.
Them rogue shits, man. You never know when one's going to smack.
Now listen, with flying cars, I do believe it's going to happen. I could honestly say that, people like Elon Musk and stuff like that, I just think the next Elon Musk, not now. Elon Musk is focusing on, like self-driving cars and rocket ships. Yeah, but he's going on crazy stuff. But I think the next Elon Musk, because to me, Elon Musk is like the next Einstein. Mm-hmm. The next I would say, what's that guy's name? Tesla. He's in that category. I think the next Elon Musk, which could be like, I would say every 2 generations it skips. So the next generation, no. But I'd say like maybe 50 years from now, somebody will be born and they'll do the flying car thing. And maybe they'll find a way to do it. Who knows? Maybe they'll have self-flying cars, where you don't actually fly them.
Well, exactly.
Autopilot.
Well, that's what I'm saying with the drone technology we got happening now. That's what we was arguing about, because we already have all the technology. You ever see them little drones you play with? You walk up to it, you smack it, and it goes, whoa, 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 whoa.
I saw that.
And it goes right back to where it is, because all that shit is done by computers already.
Did you see when they had 20 of them? They all moved the same way?
Yeah, man.
Wild.
So, having said that, what's to say that you can't do, like, here, I'll pull something up just so you have an idea.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you're going to see it on that screen, but it's going to be like a little bit of a delay. But, like, just so we're on the same page about, like, what the fuck the deal is here. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, check this shit out. I don't know who. I don't know.
And between me and you,
look.
I gotta blow his spot up. The Trump rally in New Jersey. I saw Jay Breeze.
Yeah.
They had a thing online.
Yeah.
People online.
Yeah.
And Jay Breeze was in line, bro. He's undercover Trump supporter.
Is he really?
I'm telling you, Jay Breeze undercover. I saw him. I saw a guy who was just like him.
Look at this. This is gonna come up here in a second. That's a drone that can carry people. Okay.
Maybe drones might be the next form of like helicopters because they're safer. They don't explode.
But I think they're going to be the next form of transportation. Look at this shit. This one has a gasoline piston engine. It's not even electric. And it's using the drone technology. This is going to be the first steps. This shit folds up like done deal, bro. You can store this shit in your garage and it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to me that, things like this are not proliferated already. Are not, you know what I'm saying?
What are they going to call it, like when you have like road rage, like drone rage or air rage? Like what if you get to a fight with somebody, you want to clip them or something, or a shootout, do a drive-by,
I'm going to call that a near miss.
Yeah.
Or a near hit.
And what actually, you ever watch George Carlin? He said that.
Yeah.
What the hell's a near miss?
It's when 2 planes almost hit.
Yeah.
That's not a near miss. That's a near hit.
Yeah.
A collision is a near miss.
Yeah.
Look, they nearly missed.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. But, like, this is the kind of shit that we're looking at. And this is a sophisticated one. Like, this is some shit that's, like, commercialized. I've seen shit that some guys built in their backyard. Like,
what's scaring me?
You know
what's scaring me is, like, the first drone, like, they built it, and, like, for a couple of years, they just built small ones. Mm-hmm. And in a matter of, like, not even months or, like, a year, the technology evolves so much where they make them into, like, stuff like this. And I'm saying, like...
Because they've realized that they could program them and do certain
But I was
things,
thinking,
you know
like,
what I mean? Like,
imagine all these people got together and said, hey, you know what? Let's solve cancer. Like, seriously, think about it.
How about it?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to need different kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Smart people are smart people at the end of the day.
Depends.
Just what do they apply
they're
themselves
smart
to?
in the field. There's electrical engineers. There's guys like aeronautics who do this kind of stuff. But then you got doctors, you got research scientists like biologists and everything. Those are the ones who are responsible for doing that kind of stuff.
Well, I'll say scientists is the number one reason why the United States is so successful. Freedom of science, freedom of religion.
H1N1 visa, baby. We take everyone.
Not even that, though. It's just that back in the day, like in the early 1900s, if you were a scientist, you did what the government told you to do. You weren't allowed to just come up with your own project in certain countries.
Well, yeah, of course. And that's still how it is still in some countries today.
No, I'm saying, but in America, when America became America, they told scientists, you can come here and do whatever you want. And if you were good enough, they gave you money to help you on stupid projects. I mean, they did. I don't even know. I saw some of these dumb fucking things. But yeah, I don't think flying cars are gonna happen anytime soon. Not in our lifetime.
I think they will.
I think they're gonna start making them. We're gonna see them. Maybe the cops will use them. Maybe.
Well, Dubai already bought the first flying bike, for the cops.
Yeah.
They already bought a fleet of them things.
Yeah.
And not to say that they're going to use them. They only fly like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But they have them.
It's not hard to catch a camel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't kidding there. Unless you try to outrun a camel, because them motherfuckers will go right through the fucking things. There you go. Yeah.
I don't like this because of the flavor.
Yeah, that's a weed pen. Stand that bitch straight up. Don't lay it down.
Well,
Yeah.
what's a weed pen?
No. Almost had you though, right?
But nah. Jay Breeze, you're wrong. We're not going to see flying cars in our lifetime. Maybe the police will have them. Maybe the
Well, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that we should keep really stringent regulations on how we develop them. And
I agree.
And what I'm saying is, guys are going to build them in their backyards anyway. That's how we're going to. This is how we're going to come up with the laws that don't do this. Because some douchebag is going to take off in his thing and land on a highway.
Yeah, but what's going to happen, though? What's going to happen with those type of things? They're going to be ran by computers, and they're going to be like cell phones. I can't build a cell phone and just make it work. You got to have a system. So they're going to have some companies and let you activate it or something like that. They got regulations.
Right.
But flying cars, my question is, okay, if you make them, how high are you going to allow people to fly?
That's one of the first questions.
And where are the borders now? I mean, people are going to start shooting these things down over the Canadian border or
Right,
Europe and
right,
stuff. What's going to happen? I mean, what happens if one of these guys go from North Korea to China? I mean, one of them going to be shot down? It's going to be a problem.
They're going to shoot him down.
I mean, airspace. Right now, airspace is probably the most guarded thing besides Navy. Like the United States guards the oceans because that's the only way you can get in here.
Right.
But our airspace is not really as concerning than the oceans. But in Europe,
I don't know about all that.
No.
I think our airspace is fairly guarded after.
What I'm saying
especially
is,
after shit like 9/11.
What I'm saying is that 100%.
We've learned.
What I'm saying is that if we are watching out more for a submarine or like a destroyer who can sneak through the ocean because it's easier to catch airplanes on radar than a ship or a submarine
Nowadays. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is for the United States only, we are more interested in we got to protect the water because the air. We're such a good Navy, such a good Air Force.
Yeah.
The air's a joke to us.
Right.
You know, it's like sports. You want to cover that guy. The other guys you can let slack a little bit. You know, because he's the one who's going to score 50. But now in Europe it's different because Europe they don't have an ocean, so they're looking more at the space, the airspace. So every country has to guard it. United States don't have that problem because Canada not going to fly near us. True. Mexico don't have planes. You know, so we're okay.
Planes, bro.
What? They got those fucking.
got planes.
They got planes,
man.
but they don't have plane. Not like China, not like fucking England, not like Russia. I mean,
you're talking about military stuff.
Yes. I mean, Mexicans, they have ladders. You know what I'm saying? That's the highest they go.
Well, yeah, but they climb that wall pretty good though. That cartel does a good job getting shit across.
100%.
And guess what? They use drones.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody had my wife and kid in the fucking room, so they're gonna cut their heads off, I'd climb that wall real fast too and deliver that shit.
No question.
You know.
Hey, some people do it just for the money.
Some people do because their families are starving over there. They know if they bring this over here, they're good. But 99% of them that come here just come here for work. Only 1% come over here to do bad shit. So I mean, we can't really judge that. I'm not even getting into that topic.
Yeah, I don't judge immigrants at all. I am an immigrant.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I believe in laws and enforcing our borders though, but I do. I have a heart. I feel bad.
Of course.
But unfortunately, we can't let 100 million people because the whole country would be fucked up.
No.
It does. It happened to other countries.
That's something I don't even want to touch on that.
Yeah.
To be real with you. But,
it's a touchy subject because you can care a lot about people and still have strong thoughts about it.
Right. It's a double-edged sword about how you would have to know a lot of these what actually happens in regards to talk in order to talk straight because there's a lot of shit that when your emotions get involved you sway off.
I look at immigration as like a father telling his son, listen, I love you, you're a good person, but that one night you got drunk, you drove your car and you killed somebody and you had to go to jail. That's why I look at it as you did something, you have to even though you didn't mean it and you had the right intentions, you wanted to go home. You did something stupid, you got to pay the price. So the same thing, I see for immigrants. I understand. We love you. You want to come here. We want to feed you. But, we have laws. I didn't make the laws. And when you break them, you knew about them. So I can't feel bad if you get caught up.
Well, here's the thing. As an immigrant,
yeah,
I could tell you that.
But you did it the right way, though. It's different.
Well, these are
different.
This is my next sentence.
Yeah.
That sentence is, I would prefer people do it the right way. And then when you do, then, you know what I'm saying, then you're a true immigrant.
Yes.
But again, let me end that right there, and let's come back to flying fucking cars, because that's something I want to build. I want to build fucking flying cars.
What would you do with a flying car?
What would I do? To be honest, it's like that idea is like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught it. I just chase it. Like, I always think of, let me build one and like just fly around. Like, where? I have no idea. I would try to use it as a normal means of transportation. I know I'll get arrested right on the spot. The first time, I land next to an NYPD cruiser, that's my ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or they run up on me like, yo, what is this? What are you doing? We're confiscating that. But like, because the FAA has no regulation of how low I'm going to fly.
Yeah, and what's good about flying cars? If they're going to pull you over and you have like drugs in the car and shit, you can just throw it out while you're flying. That shit's gone, 2,000 feet. How are they going to find this shit? That's going to be a big problem for them,
Well, if they got it on camera, they could kind of see where it landed.
100% though,
you know what I'm saying? But like, they'd have to have some flying shit too. You know what I'm saying? The first guys that are going to do it are going to be like the drone cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first kids that are going to like get these things that when they start selling them on the black market and like meeting up on rooftops. How biker boys used to meet up on the side of the highway somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like our car guys or whatever. These guys are going to meet up on rooftops, I guarantee you. Now, are one or two of them going to stall their engines and fall the fuck down? Yes, they are.
Yeah, every day.
Yes, they are.
Every day there's a helicopter accident in the world. Every day. Helicopters going down.
I wouldn't go that far.
No.
I wouldn't go that far.
Look it up right. I'm not 100% sure.
Aviation.
Hold on.
Aviation statistics are fucking awesome.
Do me a favor. I'm not an expert on it. But do me a favor. Just type in just our country.
Let's see.
How many helicopter accidents are there a year in the United States?
All right.
And if we have more than 100, there's a lot more countries out there.
Okay. So let's do this the right way. How many helicopter crashes crashes happen in the U.S. per year? All right. So let's see what that brings up. Overall accident rate. Oh, you're not giving me anything there. List of accidents. No. See, they won't give it to you like that. All right. Okay, so I tell you like this. They went down significantly.
Yeah, of course.
Well, listen, in 2013, we had 30.
Okay, let's say the whole world now.
Well, hold on. In 2014, we had 21. In 2015, 17, and in 2016, 17. That's where the statistics end.
All right.
So that's per year?
That's one country.
Per capita of how many people and how many helicopters are moving through this shit?
That's good.
We're fucking awesome.
Listen, there's more helicopter accidents than planes a year.
I agree.
No, in the United States.
Agree. Well, anywhere.
First of all, there hasn't been a plane crash in a commercial airline in the United States in a long time.
Let's see.
The last one we had in the world, besides one getting shot down and the one in Africa, there's not many of them. There's a couple a year, I think, right?
Well, let's see. Let's call it how many?
And it's usually a crazy accident, like something really went wrong, bird strike, or
their regulations are very stringent.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like.
They practically tune those airplanes up every time they land. They're checking everything. Yes. The checklist is. I heard the checklist is insane.
Well, I actually know a person, like if you fly out of JFK, he's the one who's going to say whether you fly or not. So,
but it's not. It's more than one person, though. It's hundreds.
Well, exactly.
Crazy,
but I know one.
Yeah.
And
he's probably in some type of field where he makes a decision. But
he's the one who lets, like, after his whole team conducts every plane, when that shit lands, they go through a safety check like a son of a bitch.
Holy shit, yeah.
And then when it's ready to go, they all bring him the shit, and he signs off on it. Mm-hmm. So every time a plane takes off, that's his ass.
And if something goes wrong,
that's his ass because he's in control of all the teams who do, So, like, all right, in 2016, there were 19 fatal accidents of civil airlines of more than 14 passengers, resulting in 325 fatalities. So,
yeah, but my question is, are they counting like small jets?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because they're not giving you like direct numbers, like numbers we're looking for.
Is that
They're
only
not
the United
giving-
States or is that the whole world?
That's the U.S.
Now, my question is, how many commercial airlines? We have 200 passengers or
Yeah,
more.
that's how many commercial planes crash.
I haven't heard of one going down in the U.S. in a long time, like on U.S. soil.
They do, apparently. But I mean, again, our numbers, because these regulations, the FAA does not play games. You do not restart in midair.
I think the
So,
last one we
it's
had
like-
was in Rockaway. Remember that one crashed in the houses in Rockaway?
But that was
Queens?
That's probably a small plane.
No, it was a bigger. Came out of JFK. Wow, it was a big one. They all died.
What?
It was like 100. Yeah, look it up. So they all died. It's like 100. Yeah, like 200 people died.
That's crazy. When was that?
That's why they changed the flight thing. That's why they're circling over here now, because they said they were flying right over Rockaway and people got mad, saying, "No, this thing's can crash into our houses."
Yeah.
There's a big problem
Yeah.
over there.
So, see, imagine like how regulatory the FAA is, and now you got drone cowboys flying around. Like that's where it's gonna get.
And then you're gonna get some biker assholes and wear those stupid jackets flying there. Fucking,
yeah, bro.
100%.
Flying Harley
The
Davidson
Hells
drones,
Angels, the
bro.
Flying Angels,
Harley
you know.
drones. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna put a V twin on that thing.
100%.
You know, and
My question is, are you gonna have limo ones and like trucks, like Escalade?
yeah.
Imagine how like Cadillac Escalade flying drone, like Cadillacs can get involved in that. GMC.
As soon as it becomes like commercially applicable to where they're gonna say like, okay, this is what you can and can't do in stone.
Another
and
thing I
that's
don't
it.
understand with these things, I don't know how much power they're gonna have, but it's not gonna be like cars. You can't just put 4 fat people in it. You know, I'm serious though.
I'm
'Cause
sure
the weight's gonna be a big deal.
I'm sure there's gonna be a weight limit.
It's gonna be a big deal. I mean, you're talking about when you have something in the air that's maybe the size of this room. Putting 200 pounds in there is a serious deal.
True.
I mean, you ever see that show? You see those documentaries with the guys selling the coke and shit. In order to get all the coke back and the drugs,
Yeah, you got
they
him.
had to take seats out. They had to get rid of stuff just to take off.
And they tried to get him to take more, and he barely was able to take off. Some of them guys crashed into the trees.
Trees. That was a movie.
With Tom Cruise in them.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
You see all the crashed planes in front of him.
Yeah, and the
Nobody
guys,
has made it yet. He's
and
like,
the guys are betting. They're like, "Will he make it? Will he make it?" You
the
know?
best to tell him if you don't do it, we're gonna shoot you. I love that part.
Listen, that's how it works.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's definitely I'm happy on the ground. I am.
You and me both.
Yeah.
If I fly, it's gonna be above, like. I'm not gonna go high enough to where I'm gonna say like if this shit turns off, I'm dead. I'm not flying that high.
You know what I see in Russia? Russia had an idea of planes. It's I don't think they made it, but they have the plans for it, and they were saying that they'll have an airplane, right?
Yeah.
But inside the plane, it'd be like a you ever see like those what do they call them? Those those big containers like on the shipping boats, the big rectangle ones. What are they called again? The
Containers.
the shipping containers.
Shipping containers.
Something similar to that, where the plane has something inside where all the people are in, and if there's a problem with the plane that's going down, that thing will slide out of the back with all the passengers.
And have parachutes on it. Or
Yes,
something.
but the problem is that in order to build something, it would be too heavy because you got to build out of steel. But you can't have with the pressure.
Yep.
It'd be totally different. So they can't make it because it'd be too much extra weight.
It'd have to be a shell within a shell, and then both
Exactly.
of those shells would have to withstand the altitudes and
pressure, all that kind of
and
stuff.
they would
yeah.
have to have their own life support systems. But it's
But it's a fantastic idea to stop people from dying.
in general, yes.
And they also had one too that if it floats down near the water, it has like a raft thing. That
Yeah,
it's
flotation
all,
device.
Yeah, it's all wild, you know.
Well, I thought of something when me and Breeze were talking about it on the other show. What if helicopters had something like that? Like, not like that, but like, let's say if a chopper is starting to go down, right? They know it's going down. That's it. You're spinning. So what happens is in the tail, there's a piece that has parachutes built in. But then, of course, there's the rotor. So you're thinking, okay.
I was going to say.
So, like, okay, so, if we deploy these things and the parachutes come out, the rotors will chop them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you deploy the thing, it's a 2-step process. First, the rotor, let's go.
Yes.
And then the parachutes deploy. That's it.
That's a cool idea.
So at least you save the people that are, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the machine may be fucked up. Yeah, the rotor might fly somewhere. If you make it, like, break apart, then, you know, you might not fucking kill that many people on the ground. But the people in the chopper now will at least have more of a chance to come down if those emergency chutes deploy.
Well, they had a Polish guy. He was dead serious. Polish guy.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out a safety measure on helicopters where maybe like something similar where they can get the people if something went wrong, because they go wrong a lot. When they do, they spin around. Yeah. The guy said we should put the injection seats.
Yeah, helicopter ejector seat.
Yeah.
You know, like a submarine screen door.
Yeah, it's a 1 out of 100 chance to get between the blades.
Just have the rotor break off. If you have the rotor break off, then whatever you put in there, it'll give a better chance. But you'd have to it'd have to be some split second shit in order for that to really work correctly.
Well, what I understand is I don't know. There's got to be something they can create. The problem is it's all about money. They don't. I think they can do things. But they're like, yo, we have 2 or 3 plane crashes a year. Why do it? It's not cost effective for them.
It's commercial restrictions.
Yeah.
It's what will we allow, right? So if it gets to a point where they say, you know what, we're not going to allow this anymore. So it's either you do it or you don't fly. Then you'll see how quickly they'll start coming up with these safety measures.
100%. Remember that plane that went down? I think it was the Indian Ocean. It was that, I forget the name of it. The one that all the people, they don't know what happened. They never found the plane. They found, like, parts of it later on.
Yeah.
It was in Indonesia.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it veered off of its flight path, and then it just disappeared
They're
somewhere.
saying now that they think they know where it is in the ocean. They see, like, there's something in the bottom of the ocean.
Is that right?
They're not 100% sure. They said, with that situation, that was probably one of the craziest plane crashes because no one knows what happened. They retrieved the black boxes.
True.
All they got was like a little piece of the plane and actually floated to India because the currents go that way. It was like weeks later. But everyone's saying that guy had a lot of issues in life. He might have just committed suicide. He wasn't a terrorist. He didn't want to kill people.
Right.
He was just like, you know what? I don't want to shoot myself in the head. So just put it on autopilot and just go down. That's it. Done deal, you know? I mean, it's really not hard.
It's freaky. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're still relying on a human. So that's why pilots, you got to make sure they're screened carefully as shit. Because any emotional distress with them guys can result in some serious fatalities.
Another thing with a flying car. I learned this with surveying on the ground for construction sites. The reason why they do a survey on construction sites most of the time is because you don't see it, though, but the world is round, and it has a curvature.
Sure.
So when you're building a long building, even though it could be like a quarter-inch difference, 10 blocks away or a block away, but it's still a big deal going up high.
Sure.
And it curves on both ends.
Right.
They say you have to go a certain amount to actually start seeing.
Oh, it's probably like tenths of a degree, you know, but
it's
still.
nothing.
But
now with a car, you could be flying a couple of miles. You're going 100 miles. You're going 50 miles an hour, let's say, in the air, 100 miles an hour. If you want to go 20 miles, you know, you can't afford to those cars, if they can't go that high, that's going to be a big issue because those cars are only made to go 100 feet in the air. If they don't know how to fly and they keep on going straight, they're going to go from 100 feet, 101, 102. That's where the accidents are going to happen because somebody's going to not fall from the wheel. He's going to not pay attention, talking on the cell phone. And the accident ratios. People are crashing into fucking buildings, man.
It's going to happen.
You're not having them in Manhattan.
It's going to happen.
You're not going to have them in Manhattan.
No. You're not going to have them anywhere here. Like, I guarantee you, if I build one or I buy one and I have it and I take off from my backyard, the minute someone sees it, that's my ass.
I think you'll have self-flying cabs, shit like that.
Dubai, I think, is already
experimenting. Yeah, you're going to have
with
that.
I think they already have self-driving cars.
Yes, they already
taxis.
have cabs.
But
they're horrible. There's mad accidents.
I believe it. I believe it. But again, with new technology, you have to leave room for these things.
I think Tesla, just in the beginning when he made that Tesla car, some dude like the first couple of weeks slammed to a brick wall going like 50. He couldn't even stop the car.
Well, because again, you're gonna have that's exactly what we was arguing about. To invent a new technology, there's gotta be someone who takes that hit. There's gonna be someone. There's gonna be someone who eventually slams into a brick wall.
You want to hear my theory about computers and technology? And people laugh at this, but it's actually happening right now, but on a really, really small scale. We have a lot of wires in the world, a lot of technology, a lot of computers.
Yeah.
Everything's being ran off wires. Now, all your wires, listen to me, all your wires here. You know what bacteria is?
Mm-hmm.
They have actually opened up a computer and certain devices and saw bacteria inside.
Mm-hmm.
And the bacteria was on the actual wire.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's no big deal. But my question is, what if, it's kind of like when humans were first made. The right chemical, the right mixture.
Sure.
The right mixture got us to become humans.
Sure.
What if, not now, the technology we have, this is actually bullshit technology compared to what we're going to have 100 years from now.
Of course.
So what if technology gets to the point where it's so crazy, and right now, what's ever in these computers on these wires, it's not about what's outside the wires. What if we have certain, because we have like cables on the ground that have been there for 100 years and they still work.
Well, some of they dig those shits up and
what I'm saying is we better go wireless with everything soon.
Sure.
Because if just say some bacteria type thing decided to grow inside of a wire, some high-tech shit.
And what kind of effect do you think it'll have?
Just say this thing started to get intelligent and started to reproduce. It'll be nothing now.
Right.
Maybe for 10,000 years.
Right.
But what happens if a million years from now? I think something's going to happen like that with technology. Something's going to grow inside technology.
It's an interesting thing. So
people say,
what do you
what
think?
if computers...
Is it going to make it sentient? Is that what you're thinking?
What I'm saying is that I don't think computers are going to take over the world. I think something's going to evolve.
So you think something organic is going to...
Something organic is going to evolve.
With the technology.
Like, remember that movie with that girl, Scarlett Johansson? What was it called again? At the end, she became this, like, black, like, goo. It can't... The movie, what was it called? You'll see do me a favor, go on the computer. It's a great scene at the end of the movie. It was, I don't know the movie. Scarlett Johansson. What happened with her, they gave her some kind of thing. Mm-hmm. She used 100% of her brain.
Yeah.
And when she got to 100%, she was able to, like, basically, like, disappear. And she was inside the computers. And she was able, everything melted into this goo. And, like, it was just a wild scene. I just don't know the name of the movie.
Well, I get the idea. That's, it's, the crazy shit is you're saying something organic that will mold with technology. I think, and I hope, truthfully, that it's going to be us. Because the next step, right, in this whole computer shit, this whole thing we're doing right now, the next step to it is going to be, and it's coming, it's already here, it's just in its baby steps, is virtual reality. It's happening.
What about this?
It's happening
now. What if we have it backwards? See, we think we're this special thing and we were created, and we're creating computers. Mm-hmm. But what if it was like the old, what came first, chicken or the egg?
So what if we were designed to create the computers that enslave us? Yeah.
And the computer doesn't realize that right now, we only created computers. I mean, basically.
As a tool.
I'm saying, but right now, we only created computers. We really got crazy with it the past, 30, 40 years. We had them for 100.
Sure.
But we started creating them in World War II, maybe before that. We had the idea it was coming. The first computer was like the size of fucking 10 blocks.
Room, yeah.
It was the size of your whole block.
Sure.
It's called a supercomputer.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, right now is nothing. But, right now, we need computers to live. We need technology to live. If everything went dark, we're screwed.
Well, and
we can live, but we're gonna be like killing each other.
Well, that's true. It's going to be the older gens and the survivalists that are gonna stay alive essentially. So yeah, a lot of.
What I'm saying too is that we can create. We have bacterias. There are viruses and plagues that once they get into the air, they use the air and they multiply.
Yeah, well, they use the air to travel.
Not only travel, they also reproduce itself through the air because there's certain nutriments and ingredients in the air where they can spread out.
Yeah.
It's like certain chemical weapons or like an atomic bomb. Atomic bomb, you drop it, the atoms multiply and it blows everything up. It's like that.
Well, the atom splits and it just releases a bunch of energy, but that energy also causes radiation.
But it's still also, as it's going through the air, it's getting stronger. It's weird. So I'm not really I'm not a physicist, What I'm saying is, though, is what if... like you said, what if there is some type of intelligent type of bacteria that, came to this planet, and basically it's like, hey, we have to create the computers to a certain point where they can create the next species.
Well, I agree.
You ever watch Aliens?
Of course.
Of Convent? when they created the robot, so the robot can create the alien.
Yeah.
The perfect species.
Yeah.
What if something similar to that?
It's possible.
Like we create the drone. What did the drone do at the end? That little robot. He killed off the engineers.
Mm-hmm.
The engineers created the humans. The humans created the computers.
Mm-hmm.
Then the computer killed the engineers.
Right.
And the humans were in the middle. Who's next? The humans want to go next. So what if the engineers created us? Like kind of like that. What if the engineers were like some high tech advanced drones who created us?
So it's an endless cycle, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
That's some deep shit right there.
I mean, my opinion, I wouldn't do it to babies though, but it'd be very interesting if we were able to put 100,000 babies on the planet Mars and just leave them there and like just see like maybe at 5 years old. Well, if they were able to breathe, just to see what would happen 10,000 years from now.
Well,
I think you would see civilization.
Well, the
evolve.
reality is, I think within our lifetimes, I'm very proud to say that I think we are going to see Mars's first colony within our lifetimes.
Not a colony. We're going to go there. Colony be next lifetime.
What I'm saying,
well, maybe at 90 or 80. Yeah, I can see that.
When I turn 70, and I'm 36 now. When I turn 70, I think there will be a sustainable colony on Mars.
And this is a proven fact because all the scientists are mad about this. One scientist said, the only way we're going to go to Mars is if China and Russia say, we're going to go to Mars. He goes, then we'll be there in 10 months.
Agreed.
But he said, you know what?
Agreed. I understand
the moon,
why.
He said, we went to the moon. We beat the Russians. Nobody has went back since. We sent drones over there. We fly by it.
I think it's the stupidest thing. Truthfully.
So they said, yeah, we might go, maybe 20 years from now, we'll send a man to Mars. But after we do that and we win the race, it's like the next race be the next planet. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
no one's gonna really do nothing over there.
That's a very small way of thinking though, because going to the moon or going to Mars is more than just beating the next guy. You're smoking now.
This is too strong.
Don't take pulls like a man. Take small pulls.
I try it
because I see you taking Chiba pulls, baby. You can't do that shit. Yeah, you can't do that shit.
No, it's something. I am a little under the weather though. It's something in there.
But the thing is, I think the survival of our species delegates that we become an interplanetary species.
I got one for you. I saw this stupid fucking podcast. There are some dumb fucking podcasts out there.
Oh, I believe it.
Holy shit. There is these two people, it's basically this one person. He has a podcast, and all he talks about is comic books and superheroes. It's not even interesting.
Just don't name them.
I'm not, but it's not even interesting. But,
well, some people like comic books and superheroes.
Listen, I do
That's
too.
That's the thing. Now
I do too, though.
You can't call it stupid just because you don't like it.
No, I'm not saying it's because I don't like it, though. But I'm saying, come on. I think a podcast, like, I'll give you that. Like, Joe Rogan's podcast is awesome because you don't know what you're going to get every time.
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
100%.
All fucking day.
There's a couple other guys that mix it up. But when you only talk about comic books, that's one thing. I can dig it.
Right.
But the thing is what you're talking about with them. Like, to have a session about, like, talking about, like, you're not talking about like, where Spider-Man came from, who invented him. It's like Spider-Man versus Batman. I mean, how long can you really talk about that?
Well,
it's fucking stupid.
If
you base your whole podcast,
if you're not a fan of it, bro, because again, that's again, you can't. I couldn't agree with you because look, some podcasts are based on music. Before you got here, I was doing music.
Yeah, but music can be totally different
it's like,
things.
But if you're not a fan of that music, you're gonna go fuck this shit. I'm gonna go watch something else. So it's hard.
You know what it is for me? How about this? The person who does it, thinks he's like a thug. He acts like he's like a Drake, like he's a pretty boy, he's a gangster.
Who's that now?
I'm not gonna get into that because I don't want to say names over here.
Yeah, don't.
No, but I'm just saying. though. I'm saying, your image is something different. But then yet you get your friends together. We're drinking beers tonight. We're gonna smoke some pot.
Yeah,
it's like tonight we're gonna talk about the new Avengers movie. It's cool, but to do 5 episodes about Avenger movie, come on, man. Like, I mean, seriously, it's fucking stupid.
All right, I
It's
understand, but like some people don't have the formula. They just like to do it because it's fun for them.
Yeah, but when you base your whole podcast on comic book characters, which is a dying thing, comic books. I mean, no one's buying. Oh, yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
Those characters have made it onto the big screen now. They're immortalized.
No, I'm saying the actual comic book.
The actual book, yes. Yes, it is. It is a dying breed because just media transfer is different now.
How about this? When I was a kid, I was really into them at like 7, 8. You know, probably by the time I was like 11 and 12, until I met marijuana and girls. I decided, you know what?
Yeah, boy.
I don't want to read Spider-Man. You know, I want to get a hand job and have a fucking beer. But when you're like a 30-something-year-old man, and you're like, the next episode's gonna be me and my friend G-Fly. We're gonna talk about Wolverine. It's like, come on, man. Like, seriously, do something different, man. Like, you can't base your whole thing on comic books. You're 30-something-year-old man.
But
at least throw a Playboy in there here and there. Come on, man.
Again,
Seriously, you know?
I understand where you're coming from, but I can't blame them because this is something that they like.
And what's even dumber?
Yeah.
Is they have some girl. He has these clips of like these girls, and like you can tell these girls are like, these are the kind of girls like want to go to clubs, do a bump, get, you know what I'm saying, like dance to music, like go out and party and shit like that, and they just want to live their life. They're like college going girls, and like they have the audacity to try to fool people, and they're like, they have like a scene where a girl's like, "Hi, I just watched the so-and-so podcast. It was fantastic." Like, you lying bitch.
Well, look,
Get
man.
the fuck. What girls
that's advertising, man.
Yeah,
everybody's
but it's like fake news, man.
Well, fake
Come
news,
on.
but everybody's trying to push their cause. Every
Fake pods,
podcast,
pods.
anybody who's out there, every cam girl who's ever told you that, like, yo, come see my shit.
Cam girls are different. They're interesting. They're doing things.
I find it to be boring, bro.
What, a cam girl?
Yeah.
Oh, well, unless it's like they're doing something, yeah, it's pretty cool.
To be real with you, again, it's just another form of promotion.
No.
Everybody's promoting because now
when they pull out a jackhammer and say, "Watch this," I'm like, whoa, holy shit.
Well,
where are the handles?
I
don't hear it anymore.
The whole the internet is very saturated with the same shit that we're doing here. It's saturated with podcasts, but it's not a new thing.
The thing is, when the Larry King podcast is more interested in yours to a younger 20-year-old group, you got a fucking problem. Because I like Larry King, and I watch him for certain reasons, though. But, I mean, I could watch Larry King talking to a guy about a Broadway play over this Avenger thing or stupid things. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just don't understand the thing, and I say to myself, like, if you're going to go podcast, listen, me and you could do a thing about comic books for an hour and make it interesting.
Right.
But you can't do 3.
Fair enough.
You can't.
I understand. But again, not everyone has that formula. People, actually, Joe Rogan learned that formula early. He used to do shit all about MMA. That's what he's about.
Yeah. He had to mix it up. That's where he got big.
Well, he even said it himself. He goes, I love MMA.
He was getting bored with it too.
Well, he goes, I love MMA, but it's just not going to be something that is going to capture guys like you. Well, you're not going to watch Joe Rogan if he constantly talks about MMA.
Remember me and you had, it was a positive, a very heated debate over the phone. And I was saying we got to do different type of things and mix it up. Maybe different, like have me and you and Slava, maybe do like a politic thing, maybe a science thing.
Yeah.
Because I was studying the Joe Rogan thing, and I was saying just doing music every time, it's good, but it's not always good because you're not going to, you want to catch 20 audiences, not just one.
Well, again, it's always got to be, you don't want to ever make it seem like work. Like right here, I'm not working.
No, we're drinking.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, exactly. Whatever we do, and before this, if y'all scroll back an hour back, I was making a beat.
That's
what I'm saying.
What you're doing is smart now. You play some beats, boom, play some music, and then you do a podcast. And you go back to music because people might listen. I'm honest. Like if I was watching this podcast for an hour, I'd sit up and watch it. Then you put some music on, not in a disrespectful way. Maybe I'll just quiet. I can close my eyes now and just listen. It's good. But then you want to sit there and hear, So it's all different kind of an attitude. Maybe you want to, it's like watching TV. Sometimes, like when I watch TV, I'll watch TV, right? And I want to actually see the TV. I want to watch Married with Children or watch a funny show, watch a movie.
Right.
But then after that, I put on a documentary. The documentary, it's a lot of them you don't see people talking, just talking.
Yes.
So I can close my eyes.
Like a narration.
Yeah, so I can go to sleep. So I'm not really sleeping because it's boring, but it's helping me sleep. I'm actually really listening to it.
Every night when I go to sleep, no joke, I watch Bob Ross.
Awesome.
Oh, You have no idea.
Awesome.
Well,
He actually had
so good.
You know, in my opinion, funny you brought that up. I was telling my friend, and everyone says, "Oh, the first successful person with a podcast was kind of like Joe Rogan." And I said, "You know what though? But there was one person who just sat there and talked to himself, and he drew. It was kind of like a podcast because it was only him.
Yeah, I understand.
So he kind of was like, I think him, you know, like someone like Larry King would have a guest on every time.
Sure.
Other people one-on-one shows.
It's a show.
He was like one of the first people to be by himself with one camera in his goddamn house. Like people are doing now.
Slightly more complicated, but okay.
I'm saying eventually he got to a studio.
No,
I know, but he used to do 12 shows in one day and do 12 paintings.
Yes.
And this guy, if you look at his life, it was all about him by himself saying, "Look at this little happy tree. I want to draw a little blue sky." And it's like he was talking to himself, and people can watch him for 10 hours and get interested.
And I did a lot of Bob Ross research because I was interested in this whole thing. This guy, you know, they asked him, I said, you know, the tone of voice that you use, what's up with that? He goes, well, you know,
I went by the painting he was making.
No. Every time, if you watch any Bob Ross episode, you're going to see his tone is the same.
Yes.
Why? Is because, and he said it, and I was like, holy shit.
He wasn't acting.
It's not that he wasn't acting. The way he would talk to you, you know, you see how we're talking now and we're all animated and this kind of shit.
Up and down with the voices and shit, yeah.
What he did was, he goes, I imagine myself talking to the viewer as if we were laying in bed and it was pillow talk.
And you were teaching them, something like that, yeah.
Would you know? Not even teaching him. The tone, his voice.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to paint a little.
Like, baby, like that, baby. Do that, baby. Yes, baby.
A little brush right there.
No, baby, open up more. Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
baby, it's only going to hurt the first time. Don't worry about it. It feels good after.
You know, but his tone of voice was pillow talk. So that was, and the way the wet on wet technique, he knew it so well and loved it so much that combining these two things, because a lot of people who were on TV at the same time when he came out, and they were like, this is media, this is like, what do they call it, camera death or media suicide. Like, how in the world is this guy doing what he's doing and staying on air and people are watching him? But then
you
again,
know the real reason though?
Because it's the shit that he did within a half hour, the shit that he was able to, out of a few tubes of fucking paint, you know what I'm saying, out of shit that was in a tube.
Would take somebody 5 days to do.
Exactly, and he did it. Like, that's how I modeled a lot of, like, the shit that I do here, as like, I can't do it within the span of time that he does it. A lot of guys who make beats can, and God bless them. It's just that if you can put together something from nothing to something within a half an hour, that's amazing. It's
with
like
no commercials.
With no commercials, but he had commercials. So it's like, you know, it's insane.
I don't know if he had commercials.
Yes, he did.
PBS?
It was PBS, a public access television. Yeah, there were commercials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
they didn't have a lot of them though. Maybe one or two. Like,
well, I couldn't tell you because
you know why Bob Ross was good? Because back then, that's when he was around. Life was tough, especially in the United States. You know, people work crazy hours.
Man.
I'm saying, but people were getting by. But it's like, you know, that was the kind of show that you could watch in the morning, afternoon, at night. And that half an hour, it was like you didn't feel like you were home. You felt like you were like in the painting. Mm-hmm. Like when he drew and he spoke,
you felt like you were in the studio with him.
Yeah,
and he was giving
like
you a lesson.
It relaxed you.
Yeah,
it's like petting a cat. You know, you hear him purr. He purred to you.
All right.
And he was just like, yeah, draw a little happy little tree. You're sitting there saying, you actually will watch him and say, how does he do this? Like, how does he take a blank piece of paper and make a goddamn freaking mountains and volcanoes erupt?
When I'm gonna get old, I'm trying the wet on wet technique, and I'm just doing the Bob Ross method, man.
No,
like when I retire, straight up, I already.
Well, I know how to draw. I just don't do it anymore. But I like to get back into it when I'm like 60 and my penis don't work. It'll work.
Oh God. But yeah, man. So that's the reality of the situation. I tell you what. Let me real quick.
What?
let's go have a cigarette real quick.
That's a good idea.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think it's killing me over there.
And we're gonna come back and talk more. But for now,
how long we just talk for? Like an hour almost?
That was about an hour. Yeah.
Really? That quick?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Time flies when you're having fun.
Jesus Christ, that lasts longer on a podcast than sex. Shit.
But yeah, man. I'm gonna turn on the beat that we made earlier, and we're gonna go have a smoke and come right back. All right.
All right.
So that's kind of the story. All right.
I'm getting better at this talking thing, and I might now relax.
Well, it's tough to do at first.
Yeah, but you can hear me. You hear me better now, like this.
Well, because the mic is in front of your face.
Yeah, but you can hear me good though, right?
I can hear you good.
All right.
So yeah, man.
Let me see if I take it off. What happened? Talk now. Just curious.
Yo. Talk.
Yeah, I can see the difference.
Exactly.
All right, let's go have a cigarette.
Let's do it. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll jump to the next time. We should just do like Saturday nights, me and bro. Like, idea. If you don't have it.
God mode. God mode.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. Whoa, shit, and we're back. Sorry for the long cigarette break, but shit happens, and you know, shit must get dealt with.
Oh, I know all about that.
Happy Heineken night.
If certain people are watching this podcast right now, they'd be like, that mother effing. Yeah.
I'm sure multiple people in your case would be saying that.
Oh, yeah. There's an old saying, you want to fuck with the bull, you might get the horns.
Yeah. Hey, you like hot sauce? Nobody asked you.
Yeah. You want to do a roofing? If you fall off the roof, don't complain.
If you use your nail gun improperly, you're not covered. Yo, we're back. It's a beautiful thing, man. Bob, talk to me. Tell me things.
I don't know. I had an interesting day. You know what? I'll talk about some things because I was just thinking to myself that I think anything I do, I can perfect it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not like sports right now because I'm 39. And I'll be 39 for the next 5 years, everybody, in case
Pushing
you ask.
that 4-0, kid. Pushing that 4-0 heavy.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I wish I was pushing a 5-0 right now. But no, honestly, I'm gonna say this all seriousness. There are a bunch of scumbags in the world today.
You are not kidding.
I'm talking about. I'm gonna put it like this way. Right, I'm not the most honest person. I'm not the most whatever. I scumbag a lot of people, but I scumbag scumbags. All right, you know, I mean, whatever is what it is. I was
ones that gotta come into it.
I was in dirty businesses, and you know what? I just played the game. It's like when I played basketball. People, I was their friend, but when it came down to winning the game, I didn't mind fucking fouling them, tripping them up, or making them look stupid.
That's life.
It's about being competitive. But I'll tell you, I did real estate. I'm doing real estate now. It's a great business. There's great people. But I'll be honest, at least in New York City, you are lucky.
It's a cutthroat business, isn't it?
It's honestly, they shouldn't even call it real estate. They should call it cutthroat estate. I'm serious. They really should. I mean, look at the web. Honestly, look at the website you use. It's called Property Shark.
Shark.
And it has a meaning to it. Shark, meaning that
whoever bites first, bro.
100%.
Big dog eats.
Well, the thing is that what I don't understand is that it's sharks attacking sharks, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't happen like that in the ocean.
Right.
Now, listen, if a whale walks in the office and I understand you want to attack it. But what I'm thinking is, you have real estates, right? And I'm not being conceited that I'm the best, though, but I'm definitely capable. I'm definitely crazy enough to go after a big project that most people would be intimidated to go after. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I called up this one property in the city. It was a vacant lot. It's worth $19 million.
Don't name no names or addresses.
No, I won't. I say it's a vacant lot in the city. It's worth $19 million. The 130 by 100. And most people who work on small $500,000 houses say, I'm not going after that because I don't have the buyers.